Hey there, gang. Jan Anderson. That's my name. Do you ever get the feeling that maybe I don't know what I'm going to talk about when I turn the camera on? Welcome to the club. Anyway, it's a lovely spring day in the Pacific Northwest. It's raining, which actually is fine. Actually, the weather was beautiful earlier today, but you just never know what's going to roll in. And if this prevents me from having to water the grass for another day or two, hey, welcome to that. That's awesome. Hey, there's Bob. Howdy, Bob. Good to see you here. Um, Gosh, what else has been going on? Yeah, yard work, regular spring stuff. And speaking of yard work, I was trimming a hedge using both shears and an electric trimmer, mowing lawns, and man, my back went out the other day. I've been flat on my back for a couple days. I'm finally up, walking around a little bit and probably pushing myself a little too hard. I injured my back about 40 years ago. God, that's hard to say. 40 years ago when I was a young rocker, lifting heavy guitar amplifiers into the back of my pickup truck the wrong way, of course, realizing I had done something, but thought nothing of it. I'm young and indestructible. And then I went to rehearsal with my band and strapped a guitar on for, a few hours. Repeated the whole mess on the way home back into San Francisco from Oakland. And where our rehearsal space was in Oakland, I lived in San Francisco, and carted my amps back upstairs. And the next day I was out. And anyway, so that was the start of my back problem. So yeah, it's been 40 years of doctors and chiropractors and physical therapists and all of it. And as I'm getting older, I'm not bouncing back from these strains as fast as I used to. And so anyway, so that's been troubling. But life goes on. I mean, thankfully, I've got a wonderful wife who helps pick up the slack for me and my household chores, walking the dog, that kind of thing. But I have to keep working, and I've got to sit in this chair in front of this microphone and jump when the clients say, record this. So it's been tricky, because even just sitting here, today's okay. But yesterday, man, I had a few jobs come in, and I was just like, God, get me in front of that mic. I'm stretching, doing all the things I'm supposed to be doing to try to help relax the back spasms. And I sit in front of my microphone just waiting to be able to lie back down on the floor and stretch again. It's a drag, man. Anyway, what did I want to talk about today? Analysis paralysis. This is something that I'm sure most people have experienced at some point in their life, and I know that it has affected me, it has on numerous occasions throughout my life. But the one I'm focusing in on today was when I was getting started in voiceover. And man, I was trying to do everything right. I was doing a ton of research, having a lot of classes, lots of work going into this, did I already say research? Yeah, lots of research, website creation, making sure everything was all lined up so that I could finally hang out my plaque and say, yes, Jan Anderson, professional voice actor for hire. Pick me, here I am. And I was talking with a friend of mine. Shout out to Elizabeth Holmes in Healdsburg, California. Number one, if she still lives there, and if she's watching, we've lost track with each other through recent years. We moved up to Oregon, and anyway, I'm not even sure if she's in the voiceover community much anymore. I just don't know. Anyway, shout out to her, because when I was fretting to her, kind of sharing my frustration, my anxiety, my worry about not being ready to make the leap, she said, well, you're ready, do it. Your demos sound great. You've got everything ready to go. You're a good actor. What are you waiting for? What are you hoping to achieve by not jumping in and getting involved and auditioning and going after work and, you know, marketing and all the rest of it? And it and that kinda took me back a little bit. It was like, "Whoa," I wasn't expecting that kind of an assertive question like that, a challenge, if you will. And I thought, "Damn, yeah, I don't know." I couldn't answer the question. I couldn't tell her what I thought I needed before I just forged ahead and got into it. So I did, and I started booking work pretty quickly. So so I think a lot of people at some point getting into a new venture like this face that same anxiety, face that same sort of fear. "Oh, what if I'm not ready?" And, and that's good. I mean, many people jump before they're ready. "I'm just gonna, send, something that I'm gonna record some improv on my phone and send it out to agents and see if they'll hire me." Well, no. No, obviously, that's not the way to do it. Do the research and do all the rest of it. Make sure that you're really ready for the market. And I had done that, but I was still fearful of jumping in. And there are a lot of fence sitters in voiceover, and man, I get it. I mean, because, well, think of it. There are no guarantees. Being your own boss is it's not for everybody. For people like me, oh man, there's no going back. There's a certain amount of uncertainty being your own boss, having your own business, being an actor, you know? But if you've gone to the trouble of doing the research and, taking in a lot of information and watching people speak about this, learning, trying to use your own intuition as to who's full of BS and who is, telling you some truth. You're kind of getting some at least, what am I trying to say? Reliable information from. Wherever you are in your journey, take the next step. Do it. I mean, again, if you've done the research and you've got your check marks and you're making your lists and you're answering questions and things are still pointing you to say, "Yes, do it," then why not? Time's a wasting. There's no better time than now. I mean, what's the old saying? The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time to do it is now. Well, kind of same kind of thing applies when getting into a new venture, a new career, something exciting, something artistic, something creative. Sure, maybe 10 years ago was the better time to have started, but no matter your age, no matter what level of competency you have right now, start now, start growing, start moving ahead. If that means like me, everything is ready, ju- just just step out into the professional realm and do it, then do that. If you've done a bunch of research and you're trying to figure out your next step into, oh, what should I do to pursue my aspirations of being a voice actor? Well, if you know what that next step is, take it. If you don't know, ask somebody you trust. Ask me. Leave a comment or a question in the comment section below. I'll be happy to give it my best shot. Okay? And that goes for any of my videos, any of the content that I create. If I challenge you into a question, or if I just bring up something that you've got a question about, hit me up with it. The worst I'll do is say I don't know. And I will if I don't know. I don't make stuff up that or I try not I try not to make stuff up that I don't really know about. If I am making stuff up, I'll say that. I'll say, "Well, my gut feeling is this, but, I don't know for sure." Anyway, um, so yeah, analysis paralysis. As a matter of fact, I think Elizabeth said that to me when I was going through it. She says, "You know, Jan, you're suffering from analysis paralysis. You keep second guessing. You're in this loop of continuous second guessing, and it's preventing you from moving forward." So, wherever you are in your journey, I hope that you can get out of your analysis paralysis if that's what's stopping you from making the next step. I mean, there are some things that are harder to um thanks, Bob. Let me just finish my thought and I'll get to your what you're saying here. Um, there are some things that are a little more difficult, such as if it's money, if it's a financial thing that is preventing you from working with a coach, which is a lot of times that's pretty important. It's hard to improve as an actor in a vacuum. You know, if you're rehearsing with yourself, well, yourself doesn't know any better. You know, only working with somebody with more experience can you grow in ways that you just can't on your own. Working in a vacuum like that just doesn't really work. It's kind of like it also applies to audio quality. You can be recording and playing around with your recording software and everything to your heart's content, but you don't know if it's up to, you know, quote unquote industry standards because you don't have somebody who works in the industry to tell you if it's within industry standards. Same with your acting. You know, who's going to tell you now, you know, I can see where you're going with that performance, but I don't believe it. It doesn't ring true. Try doing this instead. So, where did I get off on this tangent? Oh yeah, affording coaching. So yeah, financials obstacles are real, and I get that. Then as you are preparing to coach with somebody perhaps or take those next steps, save your money. Um, try to pick up more work if you can to save some shekels or try not eating out as much. You know, all the usual things about saving money to do something important with. Now, Bob, what are you saying? What you're saying is me to a T. I get it. I think I'm still scared of ruining my first impression. I don't want a bad reputation just because I wasn't ready for selling my voice. All very real concerns, Bob. Totally real. Um, maybe you're ready. Maybe you're not. Hopefully, you're working with somebody, Bob, um, that can give you a realistic expectation. I know that you've been I don't I can't remember, Bob. I think you've been studying with UVT, and that's great. Um, and, and if you're getting good signals from people that you've been working with, you're probably ready. If you've been getting good feedback on what your audio sounds like, you're probably ready. You don't have to have absolutely everything ready to go before you set yourself out there to make a first impression. For instance, you don't have to have all the backstage stuff settled, you know? Get yourself out there and start trying. Because I'll tell you, Bob, most of your marketing efforts will fall on deaf ears. If not deaf ears, you'll never know what people think because marketing is tough, and I will be making a video about direct marketing sometime in the future. It's a big topic and it's hard to generalize about. But yeah, you'll never really go. And remember this, Bob, just because you're starting out at whatever level you are at now does not mean that you will be staying there. That goes for all of us. You'll progress, you'll grow. Your performances will change, your audio quality will change. Nothing is um Nothing is, forever. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to be more eloquent. It ain't working. It's my back. That's what the problem is. My back is affecting how my brain works. Uh, anyway, Everything's fluid. Everything changes. So don't let today's fear keep you from a successful future. If you want to talk to me privately, Bob, hit me up. Jan at ja-voiceworks.com, or just send me your email or whatever. We can touch bases. That same thing goes for everybody. If you'd like to touch bases and chit chat about something, hit me up, leave a comment. Be happy to. Okay? Let's see what else. I do have to run. I've got a hard out here. I know I've only been on for a few minutes, but I do need to go. I've got another car commercial, another auto dealership. Yeah, I sure will, Bob. You know what? I'll put it in the comments after I leave the after I end this live stream, just so that it's available for everybody. Okay. It's Jan, Jan, at ja-voiceworks.com. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Another car commercial. Let's see how many words they want me to fit into 15 seconds this time. Oh, I kid. It's fun. At least it's a challenge sometimes. And they're not all like that. Believe me, I enjoy doing the car dealership commercials. They're fun. It allows me to be the big boisterous guy that I'm really not. I prefer a nice gentle narration. I don't know. I like it all. Anyway, thanks again for joining me. Good to see you here, Bob. Thank you for joining me live. And take it easy, everybody. Bye.